and welcome back to episode 19 of our Journeyman series here on Football Coach College Dynasty. If you did not watch the previous episode, please, hit Control T, open the new tab, find that video, give it a watch. We play some great games down the stretch. Spoiler alert, we make the playoffs. Also, spoiler alert, we don't win the game. But it was still a really good game of football, none-the-less. And currently where we sit, we are in the middle of the transfer portal. Longtime viewers will know that I prefer doing the first transfer portal period off stream since, in my opinion, it's one of the more boring parts of the season where you're just doing a lot of filters, you're sorting a bunch of stuff, all to find 8 to 10 players to bring in. So I simmed through the first week. That way we kind of know where we are in the races. I have divvied out some NIL money. We'll get to that. First things first, though. I did want to talk about something because, as you can see from our talent summary here at the bottom, our worst position is our quarterback. And that reason, is obvious. Duncan has graduated, and we now are stuck with these two players as our top two quarterbacks. He's going to be a redshirt freshman next year, but Damian Fisher, he was a 4-star recruit that we were able to sign, and already it's pretty good. Pretty good quarterback. 81 arm strength you could live with. 77 accuracy, that's the one I would like to get a little bit higher, but 77 IQ is fine, especially for a freshman. Doesn't have that much running ability. Ball carrier vision is okay, but the speed is low. At the moment, Damian Fisher is penciled in as our starter for next season. Something I'm excited about is if you look at his development from his recruiting year through his redshirt year, his arm strength went up by 3, accuracy went up by 3, and IQ went up by 7. So if we get similar gains, let's say everything goes up by 4, then his arm strength is going to be an 85, accuracy 81, and IQ 81. That's starting caliber in the Mountain West, and he's only going to be a redshirt freshman. So he developed really, really well. At the moment, he is our starter, just sort of penciled in there. The current other option is going to be redshirt senior Oscar Hoskins, who has yet to take a single snap despite the AI paying $1.6 million for, which is a bit rough. He is more of a runner, except his speed is somehow worse. I don't comprehend how the Matrix kind of kicked that out. His starting speed as a recruit was a 57, and it only went up by 5 in 5 hits of development. So that's not great. His IQ is really good, 82 IQ, but his arm strength and accuracy are both pretty low. And if you look at how he developed, last year, his potential went up from a B plus to an A minus, which is great. But his arm strength didn't move. Accuracy only went up by 2. His IQ did go up by 5, which is pretty good. So I'm a little worried that he's not going to get a good development hit, which is part of the reason why at the moment Fisher is my starter. However, I'm fairly confident, that if Oscar Hoskins ever has to play some games, he'll be decent. I just really need one of the arm strength or the accuracy to get a big improvement. And seeing as he's going to go into his senior season, don't know if that's going to happen. The other secondary issue, our second worst group is our running back group, which is really only retaining 2 players that have ever gotten snaps. Keaton Peters, who was our second running back in the past couple seasons, and then our starting running back last year, had his worst ever year last year, which is an odd thing to say since he got 7 touchdowns. But He also fumbled 4 times. And I mean, there were a lot of games in here where he just didn't play well. Colorado State, Pitt, he had the fumble. Air Force shut him down completely. And then he rattled off a couple really good games, but still had fumble issues. And then Michigan did what Michigan does. I'm confident in him, but we'll see. Dennis Jordan is the only other running back really coming back that got snaps, and he last year I think did okay. The thing that kind of hurt him is there were certain games down the stretch where he just didn't get the football. Like he only had 5 carries against Hawaii, 3 against Pitt, 2 against Air Force, 4 against Louisville, 4 against UNLV, 3 against Michigan. That really hurt sort of his averages and his big stats, but he's still a running back that I think can be pretty good. The big glaring issue, though, not only is his speed a 70, it used to be a 72. It has gone down, as has his strength. So there's a non-zero chance that the strength we are seeing or the speed that we're seeing right now is just what his speed is going to be the rest of the way, which is terrifying to think about. Similarly, his ball care vision and ball security only went up by 1, and his potential went down. So count me in the I am nervous about Dennis Jordan camp for next season. The only other running back really in the mix is Johnny Sweeney, who has gotten 3 carries in as many years with us, all of which came in the Colorado State blowout. Sweeney, I like in the sense that his evasion is good and his ball carrier vision is flirting with a 90. However, similar issue. His speed's a 71, ball security's a 72. So even if Sweeney is my third running back, I'm still petrified that he's going to fumble, 6 times a season, depending on how much I run him. So running back, I would argue, is a need that we need to address pretty handedly. And that brings us to the transfer portal. I had 11 open scholarship spots. And I also had 4 recruits, 3 high school, 1 JUCO, that did not commit prior to the transfer portal. Overall, I think I'm happy. If I'm happy, I get all of them. But I mean, if I don't get someone like Logan Pike, who's a 66 overall C potential, it's not the end of the world. If I don't get corner Damian Reynolds, who has the worst defensive stats I've ever seen, but he has A- potential, that's fine. The other 2 I like a bit more. Tony Sparks, 3-star O lineman, A+ potential. His strength as run block are going to be great in 2 years' time. Pass block being a 58 does kind of hurt me a little bit. And then finally, Caden Bowers, who he's going to be in that mix at corner. We lost our top 4 corners to graduation last year, and so I just need bodies in that room. He's a very well-rounded corner, but he's not particularly great at anything, which as a JUCO could hurt him because he's only going to get 2 hits of development unless I redshirt him, which we'll see. But he does want to be a star, and typically if JUCO players want to be a star, they will transfer if they redshirt. So those are our 4 recruits. They're all at the very bottom of my priority list because obviously I'm prioritizing the transfers. So, all right, let us now look at the transfers, and we will start with the aforementioned running back position. Not a lot of running backs wanted to come play for me, which I was surprised about because of the playing time we get. But the main one that I liked was Axel Hall, redshirt sophomore at LSU. So I'd only get him for 2 years. He never really played at LSU at all. So his career stats are meaningless. What is good, however, if you look at his ratings here, he's very well rounded. Like, I'm never afraid he's going to fumble. He's got 90 ball security. He's got really good evasion. His strength is solid. His speed is solid. His route running is even okay. So if his catching ticks up a bit, he could be a good receiving back. I like him a lot. Only getting him for 2 years is a bit annoying. I wish LSU would have played him at least 1 year, but evidently they chose not to, despite going 4-8 in 2 of those seasons. Whatever. Currently, we are in a race with Houston, Tulane, and Rice for Axel Hale's signature. We are in the lead by a decent amount. I have offered him $1 million to get him because I think if we get him, our running back problem is fixed for 2 years. And then I have to worry about it again. But at the moment, he is my top priority guy. I think if we don't get him, our running back room is in very big trouble. So that's Axel Hill. Next up on the list, O-linemen. You always need to get some O-linemen in the building, but those are only the recruits. So I'm not really transferring in anyone. Nothing too crazy. Defensive line. We are going heavy on defensive linemen. I need to replace 2 starters and 1 depth player with just the best players I can get. Firstly, we have Tristan Duran, who I did not see until after I advanced the week, so I'm a little behind the 8 ball already, which is annoying. But he is a redshirt junior, so I'm only getting him from a year. However, he did play at LSU. He missed, for some reason, they benched him in the middle of this season. I don't know why. He never got injured, but shrug. He got 60 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, and a pair of sacks last year. That'll play. And scouting wise, I mean, he's just I am the strongest person in the room. My block shed's going to be a 90. Get out of my way. But like I said, I did only just discover him this week. So I doubt we're going to get him. I have offered a lot of money to try to get as close to Stanford as possible, but we'll see how it shakes out. The other 2 defensive linemen that I like. Firstly, redshirt freshman Eddie Morrison, who similarly played a little bit at Baylor. And in 9 games, he got 19 tackles for loss, 19 tackles. That'd be a heck of a stat. 2 tackles for loss, 1 sack. I like Eddie Morrison a lot. He's just your high strength, high block shed guy. I would like his IQ to go up a little bit, but I mean, he's a guy we're going to get for, 3 seasons. He'll develop well. I am currently in a tight race with Hawaii because Eddie Morrison is from Hawaii. And it feels a bit rude to steal a guy that would probably be the number 1 D tackle in Hawaii's depth chart. And then finally, another redshirt junior transfer, Orlando Goss from Michigan, where he played. Looks like he was kind of a high backup last couple seasons and then relegated to the bench last year. Overall, I like him the least out of all my options because his strength is just low, especially since I'm getting him for a year. I mean, even if his strength goes up by 4, it's still only an 81. But his block shedding's good, his pursuit is good, so he's decently quick, except his speed is a 62. There's a lot of conflicting ratings here with Orlando. But he's a guy that would definitely help us out for the year we'd get him. I am currently leading the pack against Texas A&M, so that'll do. I mean, if I get all 3 of these defensive linemen, Duran would be number 1, maybe number 2. Morrison would be 2. Goss would be, I'd probably start Goss. Yeah, Goss would be 3, Morrison would be 4, and we just roll the dice with a new D lineman. Linebacker. Let's take a quick look. So there's 2 linebackers that I am interested in. Neither of whom are top of the depth chart starters, because that's not what we need in linebacker. With linebacker, I just need depth with good potential. Ashton McNeil will be a redshirt junior, so I'll get him for 2 years. He did not play at Colorado State nor Nevada, so thanks for wasting his time, fellows. That said, that gets cut in half. So he's made $500,000 to play in 1 game and get 1 tackle. Not a bad gig if you can get it. McNeil is a torpedo, as I like to call it, where he all he can do is tackle, and he's got enough IQ to not, fail miserably. The downsides, obviously, his speed ain't great, his coverage ability is poor, his zone is never going to be good, but he can tackle, and there are worse, attributes to value. Next up is redshirt sophomore, also Hunter Hodge, who did not play in 3 years at San Diego State. And he is a bit more well rounded, where I'm hoping that he gets a big development boost next year and, everything goes up by 3 and I can just celebrate. If it doesn't, Hunter Hodge probably won't ever play for me. Or if he does, he'll get, 10% of snaps because he's my second bench linebacker. His speed's bad. His strength is quite possibly one of the worst I've ever seen. But he's got a little bit of tackling ability, got decent coverage ability, especially compared to my other depth linebackers. However, there is a non-zero chance that Hunter Hodge, just never plays, which, seeing as I'm investing over $200,000 in him, is a little of an unfortunate kind of feeling. And last but not least, quarterback, because like I said, I lost my top 4 starting corners last year. And that leaves me with a pretty big vacuum. I have a couple redshirt guys that I think will get some reps, but I still want really top guys. First up, Gage Giallo, redshirt junior, so I'm only going to get him for a year, who played at Washington and had very good coverage stats. He allowed 33% completion as a sophomore and then 53% as a junior. Never got any interceptions, which is fine. He'll fit right in with my defensive back room. He is a man coverage specialist, 99 man coverage, really good speed, your classic slot guy. But there's a non-zero chance his zone coverage goes up by like 3 and I can celebrate. At the moment, he would be our number 1 corner, I think, and he's got enough good man coverage ability where I can count on him just locking down one of the other receivers. And one of the big issues that our defense ran into last year was we gave up a ton of big plays, 20 plus yards, 40 plus yards. I will check that actually really quick. Yeah, we were bottom 30 in the country in 40 plus yards and bottom half in 20 plus. So we need to limit those big plays. And I think having someone like Diallo with that good corner man coverage ability will help quite a bit. Secondly, we have Stanley Knox. Now, let's get the obvious out of the way. His potential is an F+. Not great. However, redshirt sophomore from UCLA, so I'd get him for 2 years. And his coverage ability was not as good as Diallo's, hence why he wouldn't be number 1 on the depth chart. He allowed about 63, 65% both years. He does have an interception. However, he is not that good in coverage. He's still good, don't get me wrong. 94 man, I'll take that in a heartbeat. His zone is slightly better. Speed's okay. But tackling could use a little bit of work. IQ is okay, but he's a guy that I'm less confident in Diallo. However, they are similar sort of players. The F plus potential is grim. Don't get me wrong. And it looks like we're gonna get both of these guys. We're 1,500 points ahead on both, so I'm not really concerned there. So they'll help our cornerback room out quite a bit. So in summation, that's kind of where I'm at. If we look at points ahead, I have already spent almost all my NIL money. I've spent just under $8.5 million on these players. I'm ahead on 10 of them. The only ones I'm behind on are Ashton McNeil, the depth linebacker, and Tristan Duran, who, as I mentioned, I am, just discovered this week. One thing I do want to change as I look at this, I'm going to swap Diallo and Duran's pitches. There we go. Since Diallo doesn't need it, and neither does Knox really, but yeah, let me switch Knox and Reynolds just to help me out there. So at the moment, I assume that everyone from Hale up, I'm gonna get, and Eddie Morrison, Orlando Gosh, Reynolds, McNeil, Duran. Those will be my fights. It's also annoying that all of my defensive linemen are down here. So there is a non-zero chance I get no D linemen. And if that is the case, then this is my D line group next year, which is a bit disconcerting. So I'm going to advance the week. We'll see where I'm at in the races, and then I will just throw the remaining 3.5 million in NIL I have. This is the most NIL money I've ever had going into the transfer portal. I like had 10 million to throw around. That never happens. So I really want to make sure that I spend it wisely and don't waste any monies. Okay, well I see. Okay, fair enough, Stanford. All right, so we fell behind on Hodge and Goss, and Houston caught us on Hale. Hawaii got close on Morrison. Okay, so wow. San Diego State went hard. Okay, so Pike and Bowers we're gonna get. Those two are set. In terms of the best pitches I can do, I think we're out on Orlando, unless they're out of money, which they could be. If I do my best pitch, because I don't really want to offer a guy I'm only going to get for a year like $2 million, but let's just say if I do that, that gets me 949. That gets me about what, 470 ahead. That's not a lot. I'm tempted to let Cal just have Ashton McNeil, to be frank. I'll double back to that one. Tristan Duran, I mean, I'm still going to fight for him, but he doesn't care about money that much, which what was the interest difference? I'm 85, Stanford's 88. Okay. I think I might lose Duran to try to get Goss, which I understand is silly because because Duran is a much better player and I'm closer to Stanford than I am. Actually, yeah, never mind. I'm flipping it. I'm punting on Goss, so we're not getting him. And I'm going to just throw, let's call it 1.5 million for now, at Duran. Let's do two more. 3 million for a guy I'm only getting for 1 year is a bit much. FAU coming in hard for Hunter Hodge. Okay then. And then these guys, I want to get the best pitches that I can. Nevada hasn't even offered Damian Reynolds yet. If they do, they likely snipe me anyway. So I want to give my best pitches to these guys. Okay. So that means I'm going to get about 1 million back from Goss for next year, which is fine. Okay, so I have what, 1.7 million left. I think Hale has to get some of it. Let's give him an extra 750,000 because that'll get me 852 points, and I assume Houston is out of money. That just kind of has to be my assumption. And then since I know I'm losing Goss, I'm going to put the rest of that money, or at least let's call it 500,000 into Morrison. That means Hawaii would need 670, which I think is okay. And then I'm not that Stanford hasn't offered NIL for Knox yet. That's a problem. That's actually a big problem. Okay. No, he doesn't care about NIL that much. I mean, it says he does, but 1,300. What am I ahead now? So with this pitch, I get 400. I'm ahead 1,200 now. They're not going to get that big difference. I'm going to put the rest of the money into. Um, I think I'm going to give Duran. I mean, me giving him all of it is kind of insane. I'm paying a guy 3.5 million for 1 year of production. Like realistically, I can't do that. I need to invest it elsewhere. Here's what I'm gonna do. This is involving way too much math at this point. If I do 2.5 million, that gets me 643. I think Stanford still beats that though. Stanford also hasn't offered money. I don't think I get Duran. They haven't offered money yet anyway. Yeah. 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 I don't, okay. Yeah. I'm punting. I'm not getting Duran or Goss. That means I need to get Morrison, no matter what. So sorry, Hawaii, but you're not getting him. And then I'll up the money for Hale to try to get him. I'll offer a little bit more for Hodge, accepting the fact that he may very well be bad. I'm not getting Duran. That's annoying. That is the downside of offering money first, is eventually you just kind of run out of juice. I might chase on McNeil instead of Hodge. That's actually what I'm gonna do. If I offer like $1 million for McNeil, sounds like a lot, but I think I'm gonna do it. They got the money. They got the money. I'll offer. Oh, Sparks doesn't care about money. Never mind. And then the rest I will offer to. Mm, I'll just give the rest to Knox just in case. So that's where I'm at. So I know we're not getting Duran, we're not getting McNeil, we're not getting Goss. Well, we might not get McNeil, but Duran and Goss are the two that we know we're not getting. So let me move them down the list. Yeah, I think part of that is I didn't find Duran until the second week, so I lost out on a week of pitch. And I think that probably does make the difference in all actuality, but that is what it is. Um, yeah, that's a bit disappointing. Just in terms of D line, that means we're going to have a significantly worse D line than I did last year. Um, while I'm thinking about it, let me move some pitches around just to make sure everybody has the best pitch they can get. Looks like they do. Okay. So I think going into this signing window, I'm confident I'm going to get everyone from Morrison up. I think I'm going to get my recruits and then Morrison, Knox, Diallo. Hale is going to be close. Hodge probably going to lose out on him. Duran, we know we're not getting. McNeil, I could honestly get. It depends if Cal has more money to spend. And then Goss, we're not getting. That's where I'm at. One thing I'm going to check, since now I'm going to have to take walk-ons, is if there's any transfer D linemen that if I literally talk to them right now, they'd come. And the answer is no. Unless I want this guy, Eli Stanton. Do I want to? Let's just kick the tires on this really quick. I don't have any money to offer him, so I'd have to pull some money from one of them. But actually, yeah, that removes it from the equation. All right, let us advance to signing day. See where things stand. Oh boy! All right, let me scroll down to the bottom really quick. Ghost goes to Texas A&M. And Duran goes to Stanford. Yeah, Stanford, they had an 800-point pitch. I don't catch that even if I offer all my money. So, all right. We miss out on both Goss and Duran, which is a bit annoying. I mean, D lineman probably our second biggest need, I would say, besides running back. So, to miss out on my top target and my third target in that position, a bit frustrating. Let's do the recruits then to get them out of the way. Damian Reynolds, we know we get. Logan Pike, we know we get. Caden Bowers, we get. And then Tony Sparks. Yep, all right, we get Sparks. So we get all the recruits, which is what we expected. Okay, so we had what, 9 roster spots? Or 11? 11? 11. So we're going to take at least one walk-on. All right, first up, Axel Hale, our future running back, is secured. Houston ran out of money, so I don't think I needed to offer the additional 1.2 million. But I mean, he's immediately our number 2 running back and elevates our offense so much. Eddie Morrison. Suddenly, this has become an extreme need with us not getting Ghost and Durant. And we do get him. Hawaii ran out of money also. And we get a player who, I mean, we're going to get him for 3 years, and he's going to play for 3 years. So he could potentially develop, probably not to be as good as Duran, but probably about the same as Ghost. Gage Diallo, our top corner target. We get him. San Diego State they were so far behind from the jump. So he'll be our number 1 corner, likely, unless an extreme development happens behind him. But that's a really good get. Even if it is for only 1 year, I mean, that part is regrettable, but we'll take it. Stanley Knox getting the building. Stanford made a 958-point pitch to try to catch him, but they failed. So we get Knox. F plus potential aside, I like his ratings a lot. He needs more tackling, but everything else is solid. He'll probably be our number 2 or number 3 corner, depending on things. Ashton McNeil goes to Cal. We miss by 34 points. Oh, that's so frustrating. That is so annoying. We offered him $1 million. What? We offered him double the money Cal did. But yeah. So if I give McNeil a better pitch, he comes to me. That's frustrating. What also doesn't help is his interest in me was 39. So that part sucked. All right, that's annoying. Would have been nice to have McNeil. Hunter Hodge goes to FAU. We don't get him. All right. Well, good news is we got our top target in Axel Hale. We got both the corners. That position's secure. Bad news is we go 1 for 3 on D lineman and 0 for 2 on linebacker. We're gonna have the youngest linebacking core. It's fine. Oh boy. All right. So of the 12, so we had 11 scholarship spots open, and we fill 8 of those. So we're gonna have 3 walk-ons. All right, here's our recruiting class. We did get a decent amount of 4 stars. A couple of them were transfers. Only two stars this time around. So let's see where we're at in the recruiting rankings. We are 22 with 6 4 stars, 10 3, 2 2. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. Shout out to James Madison at 20 and USF at 19. Look at them. Look at Bama, 13 5 star. Who was the 3 star? What 3 star did Bama get? Oh, a kicker. Oh boy. And they also got, I saw 2 of the superstars too. Oh, good. And they got the next coming of Andrew Luck at QB. That must be nice. What if he doesn't even play for them? Whatever. Okay, that is what it is. All right, school updates. Our prestige goes up to 7. That's good. I assume most of that's because we won our conference again. However, we took some hits in some categories. So, yeah, we do get 3.6 in NIL back. We're going back up to 15 anyway. Pay our debts. Okay. So, stadium, I'm leveling all the way up to 9. We need a better stadium. Facilities, getting it back to 8. College life is fine. That can stay where it is. And so now it becomes a question, do I prioritize academics or marketing? I think marketing, where I'm just going to spend the rest of my money getting us up to 6 and then put the rest in that. So that means our academics take a hit, but stadium, facilities, and marketing all get upgraded. I think is a good trade-off. I'm letting college life just drop essentially for a few years in a row because I don't need a huge difference between S and S plus. When it gets closer to 12, that's when I think I'll spend some money to get it back up. But that's where we're at. I think this is a good. I'm almost tempted to take like a million or two less in NIL to upgrade because stadium and facilities are both going to drop after next year. I'm tempted. Let's just see if I do that. Let's say I take only 12 million in NIL and I throw the extra into facility. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to take a little less in NIL, which that might come back to bite me, but I'll take the trade-off in slightly better facilities. Here's the earnings breakdown. We failed to get the diamond goal of 6 forced fumbles. We only got 4, but other than that, we got all the rest of the donors, which was awesome. And then we won our conference and made the playoffs. So that's an extra 8 million, which is sweet. All right. Let us advance the week to any booster updates. No outgoing, no incoming. So it stays 1 diamond, a gold, a silver, and then 3 bronze. I'm really hoping to lose one of the bronze. But again, it just doesn't happen. Which is a little bit annoying. All right, conference realignment is disabled, so that all stays the same. Okay, schedule configuration. Who do I still need to play? Stanford and Penn State I need to play. I also need to play Louisville. I'm literally going to make it those 3. Like, not even joking. I have 8 home games, which is a huge number, but that is the trade-off. So I'm going to have a lot of early opportunities for recruiting, which is good. I need to keep the Stanford and Penn State games because they're going to be ranked, and I need to face ranked opponents because if you just look at the records here, no one in the Mountain West did all that great last year. Maybe San Diego State's ranked by the time we play them, but that's about it. Did I face. I did face Louisville last year. Maybe instead of Louisville, let's see. I really wish more teams would offer single away. That is the one thing I kind of dislike from the scheduling, because I won't get any money from the scheduling. Also, from doing it this way. Whereas if I start a new home and home, I'll get some money. Do I take on Notre Dame? Or is it time for me to take on the SEC a little bit? I think it is. Whomst Liberty could be a fun game, actually. Let's do that. Let's start a Liberty contract. It'll still get us no money, but that's fine. All right, so we got home Stanford week 1, Mexico State, Utah State, Mexico, or New Mexico, sorry, Utah State, Mexico. Home to Penn State, home to Wyoming, home to San State, at Liberty. I mean, we swept the Mountain West last year. We only took one loss in the Mountain West 2 years ago. I operate under the assumption I'm going to win every Mountain West game, and so my only losses would be these guys. Liberty also went undefeated last year, by the by. Didn't they? Did they lose in the? Oh, right, they didn't get in the playoff, which is tough. That is rough. Undefeated conference champion Liberty doesn't make the playoff. Don't worry, buddy. I'll give you a good win or a good loss. I'll schedule you. I think that's a fine schedule. I get 3 7 prestige opponents. Odds, I mean, there's a potential for all 3 to be ranked. So that'll be good for us, I think. Let's lock that in. As a reminder, here are my settings. I think I'm going to keep the transfer NIL penalty on half because it incentivizes teams to kind of spread their money out as opposed to the AI saving a bunch of money and throwing it at players that don't need to. I'm saving the AI from itself by doing that. So let us advance the week. And now we embrace the frames that shall drop. There we go. All right, position changes. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really have any written down. I feel like I need to move one of these tight ends to O line, and it's annoying that just none of them are good O linemen. Like Brady McLean is probably the one that makes sense, but his overall is not going to be really good. I mean, he's down here amongst the big depth, and his potential is also terrible. So that's just going to have to be what it is. He's going to take the ratings nerf because he's undersized, which is fine, but he's never going to see the field at tight end. So, if literally, Pike, Sparks, and Ray all red shirt, he could be an okay depth alignment, I guess, if he develops well. We'll see. We'll see how that plays. I do think Carrington. What's Carrington at O line? 73. I mean, 73, you're competing with the last. I mean, I don't know if he'd take the nerf because he weighs 274 pounds. If the threshold is like 280, I'm going to cry. Yeah, I mean, Carrington, I mean, he was my backup tight end for a couple years. Never really got that much going. I think, yeah, I'm gonna move them both and get. I'm gonna play two tight ends. I think Lockhart one, Leonard two, Montgomery's my depth at three, and then Davin red shirts. So we're kind of have a really stacked O line right now. 18 O linemen. That's a lot of O linemen. But of those 18, three are gonna red shirt. That is a lot of O linemen. But Brady McLean, I mean, he's never gonna see the field at tight end. He barely did the last couple of years. He was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, that's my call. I do have a lot of running backs. Would any of them be good wide receivers? Michael Ivy or overall would be the same. Where would you be in the overall depth chart? Last, fair enough. Though to be fair, I think I'd rather have him there because Huber is gonna redshirt, and I'm pretty thin at O line. So yeah, Michael Ivy, welcome to the wide receiver room because these two are going to redshirt. That leaves me with five running backs. Yeah, that's the move, I think. 18 O linemen. Listen, do I have 18 linemen? Yes. Seven of my top eight are seniors, so that problem's going to fix itself, I think. I'm just seeing if any D lineman would be better at linebacker. Usually that answer is no, and the reverse is true, but might as well check it out. All right, do I have any huge linebackers? No, the biggest guy is Pittman, and I definitely can't move him. No, actually, mm, I am. I'm going to move Pittman to D line, and he's going to help out Morrison as my bridge. I like that plan. Well, this also removes him from coverage responsibility, which he was terrible at. I think I prefer that honestly because that gives me Hendricks one, Pittman two, Morrison three. Hopefully Williamson, Shelton, Rose, Butler get good development hits, and they can round out that group. This does put a bit more pressure on my backup linebackers, but I think I'd rather that and get Pittman on the D line. Corner. So this is my cornerback room. It looks pretty crazy. Reyes wants 40% of snaps. I mean, he's going to get that pretty easily. Yeah, I think it's literally going to be these four all the way down. Will be the order of operations. Caden Bowers, buddy, I might just redshirt you, and you're going to have to accept that. All right. I mean, that is my list. Bowers, what's your overall at safety? 69? Maybe I do that. I will do that. I'm going to move Bowers to safety because Unger and Poe are going to redshirt. So I'm going to play three safeties with McCoy, Lanier, Murphy, and then Bowers can be my first safety off the bench. I prefer that because in this, he's going to get lost in the shuffle. Let it be known. Okay. Off-season game period is about to happen. I need everyone to take a breath. We are manifesting hard that Damian Fisher gets the biggest off-season gain any of us have ever seen. A +5 would be beautiful. Give me a +5. Send it. Save in advance. Here we go. Here we go. Everybody stand. Everyone prepare. We're manifesting a +5. Come on, please. I mean, a lot of our problems get solved if Fisher develops well. A lot of our problems get solved. Here we go. Oh boy. Why does this have to be like one of the longest advanced week screens? Oh boy. That's the only downside of having a custom database, is it does slow the game down a little bit, but that's okay. Please. If I see a +5, I'm doing a jumping jacks. Anything higher than a 5, I think we're just cooking with gas. Oh! Tommy Bell +9. Okay. All right, here we go. Everyone, prepare yourselves. Damian Fisher. It's +3. Oh, it's a +3. Jason Walters +6. Whatever, who cares? Okay, Fisher +3. Give me the numbers. I mean, I essentially said, what if everything goes up by 4? And I got the equivalent of that, where one went up by 3, one went up by 5, one went up by 4. So I can't be mad. I would have liked his speed to go up by a little bit more than just 2, but that's kind of splitting hairs. I can't use him in the option game as much as I use Duncan. I think that's obvious. But I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that. Oscar Hoskins, who 76, 81, 84, 80. Yeah. Hoskins, I think. See, his speed didn't move. I would have genuinely played Hoskins as my backup the last couple years if his speed was higher, because I could have used him in the option game. But his speed just never moves. Accuracy going up by 7 is good. I think Hoskins backup QB for a year, I can live with that. Fingers crossed Fisher stays healthy, but if he doesn't, I'm okay with that. Jalen Prez only went up by 3. His accuracy went up by 7. That's fine. He'll be my backup QB next year. Jason Walters going up by 6 is big. His accuracy went up by 11. Speed went up by 5. Ball carrier vision went up by 4. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, overall, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with the development in my QBs. Running back. Jordan got jumped. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, whatever. 2 for Peters, which is fine. His ball security is the big one. That went up by 3. I'm happy about. Much better blocker. I don't care about run blocking though, but pass blocking going up. That's good. Hale. His ball security is a 94. If he ever fumbles, insanity. His catching also went up by 9, which is really good. So he could be a threat out of the backfield because Peters probably won't get that many reps. Sweeney is now the 3rd running back. However, his speed's a 75, his ball security is a 76. Like, y'all, I hate Dennis Jordan. Like, it's so annoying. He could legitimately be so good. He started as a recruit with such high ball skills, and then they just never moved in 3 years. It's actually infuriating. His speed's a 74. That didn't even. Dennis Jordan's going to get first crack at the 3rd running back slot, but my God, how disappointing. Whatever. That does, though, put us on decent track next year where Hale can be 1, Jordan can be 2, Sweeney can be 3. Brewer, our recruit, goes up by 2. His catching went up by 8. His other ball skills didn't really move. Kyle Stewart, the red shirt, not great boosts. Everything went up by 3. Moises Myers, okay, 6 to ball carrier vision, 5 to ball security. Overall, I'm fine with this. Dennis Jordan's not developing. That's a bit annoying. Wide receiver. First glance, not the best, but I'll take 3s and 4s. So Norman, the big thing. Okay, good. His catching is even higher, so that shouldn't be a problem. Pearson, I would have liked for more than 4. Because that's the issue I ran into. I think Ian Fox, he's going to be ahead of Pearson in the depth chart. because like Pearson has 98 speed, which I'm gonna need a speedy guy to replace Phoenix Roberts, but Ian Fox like just needs to play. So he'll be two. Edward Boyle going up by 3 to an 80 is nice. His catching didn't move. I'm sensing a theme. Giovanni Boyle might Giovanni might play more than Edward. The brothers strife. Preston Norton. Okay. Yeah. Johnny Huber, the recruit. His catching went up by 8 and his potential went up. We could have a good one here. And then Michael Ivey, the converted running back, got 6 better catching, 2 better speed. Okay. So, yeah, I think it's going to be Norman, Fox, Pearson, Geo, Edward as our 5. I'm thinking I'm only going to play 5 running backs this year because Norton, his catching is too low, his speed's too low. Ivy is nowhere near ready, and Huber needs to redshirt. So I think I'm only going to play 5 wide. Tight ends, hit me. Man alive. All right, whatever. Lockhart, his speed goes up, route running goes up, nothing else moves. Leonard, that'll do. I think Leonard. See, I like Leonard a lot. Just wish his blocking was better. Montgomery goes up by 3. His run block gets a good boost. Davin, the recruit, well, his potential went down 2 levels, which is a really bad sign for him. O line. Oh no. I moved Carrington and McLean to O line, and now they're my 11th and 13th O lineman. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. That's great. Edgar Hooper going down by 1 is ludicrous, but whatever. Wow. Tommy Bell plus, okay. Okay, yeah. I mean, our lineman problem is fixed. I'm just gonna play these 8, and then Edwin Gill is gonna be our first O lineman off there. Carrington only went up by 1. His run block went down. I convert you to an O lineman, and your run block goes down. What about McLean? McLean went up by 5. I should have moved McLean to O line last year. That's a miss. That's a miss from me because he'll probably play next year. Well, I mean that's O line sorted. I'm not going to go through everyone, but do I redshirt Roy Robertson his senior year? No, he just got first team All Mountain West O line. I'm not doing that. That would be kind of funny though. Clicker Matthews power went up by 4. Okay, that's fine. Diego Boston, pretty good boost. Who's the better punter? It's still Matthews. Okay. D line. I moved Jared Pitton to D line. He becomes my best D lineman. Oh, that's funny. Wow, his strength went up by 10. That's crazy. I mean, yeah, I like our D lineman room. I think Morrison definitely helps, and Pittman. Moving them. Shelton going up by 7 is awesome. Calvin Weaver going up by 6 is nice. Williamson only up by 4. That's a shame. He was a decent contributor last year. Depth-wise, Landon Montestielko went up by 4, but he took a potential hit. Win went up. Okay, I'm going to redshirt like 5 D linemen, which is kind of crazy. All right, I like our D lineman room a lot. Moving Pittman over to D line, definitely the right call. Linebacker. Yeah, I mean, realistically, I couldn't have expected more than these guys going up by 3 and 4. So I think if Cook, Greer, or Richard, if one of them gets injured, we are in serious trouble. Because Caden Caldwell is the only linebacker besides those 3 that's ever gotten like any playing time. So that's the bit that's going to really hurt us. That's the trade-off for moving Pittman. But Caldwell went up by 4. His coverage stats improved a little bit. Tackling up by 2. I might honestly, I hate that pursuit is the thing that Thompson's amazing at. I think I have a feeling. I mean, I'm only going to play 5 linebackers. Like, realistically, I can't put a lot of these depth guys out there. Yeah, I think it's just going to be these 5 straight down. Dylan Few, Holly will be my number 2 guys off the bench. Corner. Now, this could get spicy. It has gotten spicy. So, Knox, despite having F plus potential, and that potential, which got worse, mind you, I know it's hard to see, but it's only an F right now. So it went down. He goes up by 4. Diallo goes up by 3. Sean Cody, coming off a red shirt, goes up to an 84. That's a little harsh on Brandon Reyes, who once was it 50% of snaps? 40. He wants 40% of snaps. He's now my 4th corner. And yeah, he's going to play over Ren. He's got the speed. Okay. I mean, I like it. Gail McGowan going up by 3. That'll help our depth a lot. Evan Foster, another guy redshirted, goes up by 3. Coleman up by 3. Okay. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. We might struggle to get Brandon Reyes his 40% of snaps, but we'll see how that goes. I mean, he was a really good corner last year, so I think he deserves the play. I'll find a role for him. Safety. I mean, yeah. Nicholas Unger went up by 4. His potential took a hit, but I mean, I'm gonna redshirt him because he would only be my 4th safety, and I'd rather him get a year of eligibility because I'm gonna lose all 3 of my top safeties in 2 years. Jameson Poe plus 6. Zone coverage is nice. Bowers got the IQ I wanted. He got the IQ. Okay. Yeah, so I think it's going to be, McCoy, Lanier, Murphy on down, Bowers, 4th safety, Unger, Poe, redshirt. Okay. I mean, overall, no real complaints. Like the most annoying ones, running backs didn't develop great on the back end. That's about it, honestly. Um, I mean, all of my redshirt corner guys went up by 3 or more development, which is great. I have now created kind of a logjam at corner. The Brandon Reyes promise might get a bit tricky, but we'll see how that plays out. I mean, no, I'm pretty happy with how that went overall. Let's save in advance for the install. All right, we're keeping the schemes. We're not changing anything. Yeah, definitely a 4-3. So this is where we're at talent-wise. Our worst stat is still our QB play, which we saw coming. But I mean, hey, Damian Fisher is gonna take the job, and we're gonna see what he can do here. Hopefully he plays well. I mean, we're gonna have him for 4 years as a starter. So we'll see. All right, let's advance the week. All right. So before I do any of that, let's get depth chart sorted. So Fisher 1, Hoskins 2, Prez 3, Walters redshirts. Done. Running back. Peters, Hale, Jordan. In terms of, so here's my problem now is losing Garrison, I have lost my power back. And so honestly, I'm going to keep short yardage back set to auto because Peters, he has better ball security, but he has a lot worse strength. Yeah, I'm going to keep it set to auto. I think third down back is Hale because he has the catching ability. Where if we do need to pass it out of third down, I think I'd rather it be him. Is my argument. So yeah, Nehemiah Brewer is going to redshirt, as is Moses Myers. That's set. Wide receivers, I'm ticking it down to 5. Fox is going to go ahead of Pearson. Gio's going to go ahead of Edward. Yeah, I mean, I'll take the hit on speed if I get 4 better catching and 10 better route running. I'll take that. And Huber red shirts. So we are kind of thin at wide receiver, but we should be okay. Emphasis on should. Tight end, red shirt Davin. We're gonna go down to 2 tight ends, and it's gonna be Lockhart and Leonard. O line. Okay, this is the one that things could get genuinely tough. Let's get the red shirts out of the way, just so I'm not looking at 18 names on my screen. Okay. So I'm sticking with 8. That's not changing. Tommy Bell's still going to be my number 1. McCabe's number 2. Olson's going 3. Herring is 4. Is Herring 4? Yes, Herring is 4. Cooper is 5. Do I... Part of me is genuinely considering trying to redshirt Roy Robertson. Like, because here's my issue. Right now, he's my 6th O lineman, which means he's not gonna get like the 50, the 60% of snaps that the top 5 guys get. Do I put him over Edgar Cooper? That could be the question. How many sacks did Roy allow last year? 0. Never mind, Roy can be 5. Cooper is 6. Camp versus Estes. I think Camp. Estes is 8. Edwin Gill is our top O lineman on the bench. Then Carrington Wheeler. Yeah. Yep. I mean, we have a really deep O line now. I think this is harsh on Edgar Hooper, who a couple years ago was first team All Mountain West, and then picked up an injury last season and now is dropped from the starting 5. It's a bit harsh on him, but that is what it is. Man, I think 8 is still the right number. Anything more than 8, and these guys don't play a lot. Okay, defensive line. Let me redshirt these guys. Manuel Hayes, red shirts. I think I said I'm redshirting 5 D linemen earlier. It's actually 4. Whoopsies. I think I still want Hendrickson 1. I accept I'm taking a big hit on strength, but the 106 block shedding is just superb. Pittman 2. Morrison 3 is where I'm at. Shelton or Williamson. See, man, Williamson made second team all freshman last year. He played so well. Shelton barely ever saw the field. Whatever. but I mean, he's a better block share, better tackler. Yeah. Sorry, Will. This is harsh on Williamson. See, Butler has 99 block shed, which is awesome, but his tackling is the worst of the lot. His strength is a 69. And his IQ, yeah, no, it has to be Weaver. Has to be then. Win ahead of Landon, I think. Yeah, other than that, that's the line. Linebackers. So this is the list that is a little spooky. These three, top down, I think. But now the question becomes, what the heck do I do in the back end? Because the problem I'm running into is Caldwell and Thompson have the worst tackling compared to like Holly and Pugh. They're better in cover. I think honestly, Ricardo Thompson is 4. I think that is set. The debate then becomes who's 5, who's 6. Dylan Pugh, I think, needs to be one of those two spots. Do I like him better than Caldwell? How'd Caldwell do last year? Barely played, got 6 tackles, bad in coverage. Pugh obviously didn't really play. He was horrendous in coverage, good God. I think I'll start at Caldwell 5, Pugh 6. Do I play Pierce Holly at 6? I lose a bit of IQ. I get a slightly better tackler, more pursuit, more strength, worse zone coverage. Never mind. I flipped on that so fast. Yeah, I think I'm genuinely worried about my 4 to 6 linebackers. Okay, corners. Hello, everyone. So I played with 5 corners last year because my depth was bad, and it was 4 seniors and then Brandon Ray is at 5. I think I stick with 5, even though I like Gail McGowan. His speed is a little lower than I'd like. I think honestly, Evan Foster might be ahead of him. The issue I'm going to run into is I don't think Brandon Reyes gets 40% of snaps being all the way down here in the depth chart. And do I put him ahead of Sean Cody? I mean, the only reason I dropped Sean Cody down is that his tackling is a 62 and his zone is worse. I think I'm going to start with him at 4. That's harsh on Sean Cody, but I think it must be done. I'm taking a big hit to man coverage, but that's okay. Gail, how'd you do in coverage last year? Well, you're only targeted 3 times. Fair enough. And then Gavin Wren, obviously, he played a little bit due to injuries last year. Yeah, I think that's my order. Poor Leo Coleman, he's never going to play. And then safety. Hi, guys. We're dropping to 3 safeties because I need my top 3 guys to play a lot. Unger red shirts, Poe red shirts, Bowers is 4th. I think that's my move. Or do I make a guy like Unger 4th? That way Bowers gets a... No, he wants to be a star. I can't redshirt him. Kickers, Matthews. Punters, Matthews. Return specialist, which is new. Yeah, I think it has to be Harrison. All right. That's where I'm at in terms of depth. I think the areas I'm legitimately concerned are if one of my top 3 linebackers go down, we are in serious trouble. And if Fisher doesn't play well, we don't have a great running back room to fall back on. I think that's my areas of concern. I think O-line, we're going to be fine. Wide receiver, we're going to be fine. D line, we're going to be fine. Corner, we'll see. I'm replacing essentially my entire starting cornerback room with new players this year. So we'll see how that shakes out. And then safety, we're obviously good. Okay, so that being said, let us figure out what we need to prioritize in recruiting as I get a fresh post-it note. So I think I'm going to do um, this first transfer recruiting window, and then I'll do the rest off stream, and we'll go from there. First, though, let's figure out what do I need? Do I need to recruit a quarterback? I don't think so. We got Damian Fisher as the future. Jason Walters looks like he's progressing okay. We're good. Running back, I think we're fine. The issue I'm running into with running back isn't the depth. It's that I need to keep bringing in guys to transfer. But I'm confident in Brewer developing well. Stewart should get there. Moises Myers, I mean, his ball carrier version's already an 84. I don't think we need to recruit running backs. Wide receivers, we do. Solely because of how I'm down to, 8 wide receivers, 3 of whom are graduating after this year. So I need to recruit wide receivers, and I think it's going to be a big transfer position for me next year. Tight end, I don't think we need to recruit anyone. I think we'll just need to transfer maybe a guy in, but tight end, I mean, I'll look. If there's any high potential players, I'll look, but other than that, no point. Offensive line, always recruit offensive line. I have 18 linemen right now. I don't care. You always recruit offensive line. Kicker, we should be fine because I got Matthews for 2 years and then Boston for 2 years after that. So we are A-okay. D-line, no, I don't think. So as I look at my D-line depth, there's not like Wynn has great potential. Haynes solid. Medina already had good stats when I recruited him. Landon's okay. I'm just worried about losing 4 of my top 6. I think D-line we should be okay. Linebacker is a yes. Yes. I mean, yes. I have little depth. If anyone goes down, we're dead. I need them. Corner, nope. We are insanely young at corner. We're good. And then safety. So here's the thing with safety. I don't think I need to recruit anyone, but part of me is like, yes. Because the issue I'm going to run into is, let's assume I don't redshirt Bowers for a year, so I only get him for 2 years. That means in 2 years, McCoy, Lanier, Murphy, Bowers are all going to be gone. So I think, honestly, the time to recruit another safety would kind of be now. I'm just going to put corner/safety and try to get like 2 guys in. Could be any combination at those positions. I think other than that, we're okay. Now, recommended targets. Any 5 stars? Oh, come on. The one time I'm in a QB duel. Why am I so high? The interest is a 68. Whatever. The one time a QB would want to come to Fresno State, and I have my quarterback situation settled for years to come. I am frustrated. I did see a tight end there. That's pretty cool. All right, as I start, we're just going to look at the 5 stars and sort of look. Aiden Gregory, hello. Nope. All right, where are we at? So we are ahead on a 5-star. Richard Callaway. I'm scouting you fully. Give me your numbers. Oh my God, you're actually terrible. I don't want to waste my energy on this guy. What's the interest difference? don't want to. Like, he's either a small lineman with bad strength or he's a good blocking tight end that can't catch. Whatever. Get on the list. So annoyed. Speaking of O lineman, really? Really? Does no one have good potential? Get on the list. Connor Pugh, what's your potential? Eh? Eh? You know, one thing I respect is that, like, all the tight ends want to come to my program. It's because they know, they see what's happening here. They're like, I could get in here. Hmm. Hmm. Edwin Kahn could be interesting. I'll add him to the list. Um, the QB one is hilarious. I'm essentially just gonna add all of the 5-star guys that are interested in me just to the list. I'll invite them to camp and we'll just see how that goes. Before I do that, let me actually. And the reason I'm even inviting like Logan and Callaway to camp, even though I know their potential, is it'll get me the most amount of points. And I have one camp visit to spend. Hayden Gregory, congrats. Even though you're not really that interested in my school, welcome to camp. Okay, so that got me a pretty good mix actually of positions that I need. So I'm not interested in 1 and 2 stars. I think we're at the point where even if they have high potential, I'm good. John Tanson, you have okay coverage ability already. Get in the building. Does anyone have already like a potential that I know of? Get in the building. Get in the building. 71 A plus. Getting what? Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna target all these A potential players. Honestly, this might just be my list. Oh, wait, I got a kicker. I didn't mean to. Oh, he looks like a really good kicker. All right, I'm just gonna grab all of these A potential guys because that gets me what positions I need to have written down: wide receiver, tight end, O line, linebacker, corner, safety. There we go. There's my list. How many? 23. Behold my class. No, there's no way I'd be able to get all of these guys. But what a funny world would that be, huh? Oh, that would be actually hilarious. I mean, honestly, this just might be my first 500 points. I mean, okay. This might just be my list. Like, being 100% genuine. Um, Let me really quick then just look at, is there anyone else I'm really ahead on that might be worth adding? 86 evasion is high, but there was a lot of D letters I saw around that. May do interest. No, man. In all honesty, this is just my first list. Oh, I forgot to target these guys. Whoops. Guess I didn't see them. Oh, I have 2 pages. That's why I didn't see them. 500 behind, 400 ahead. Okay. Boom. There we go. There's my list. Easy. Oh, I forgot to do this. Auto practice. And we'll just auto do the trainings this year since I have nothing really that I'm concerned about targeting. Actually, I lied. I think I'll just do the recruiting. I'll do the recruiting here since it doesn't look like we have that much tinkering to do with the original list that we have. which is pretty good. Auto assign trainings. Ooh, bell strength +2. That's good. Okay. Anyone's overall that I don't know. I should know everyone's, or not overall, but potential. I do. Okay. So, firstly, anyone that cannot or that can attend camp shall do so. Maybe with exception to Sean Hansen. Or maybe, actually, no. Wait. I did that in a very silly order. Points ahead. Okay. Now, everyone from Carney on down attend camp. I mean, then again, if this is literally my list, do I just go after like everyone? There's so many 5 stars, though. I can't realistically throw my eggs in that many 5-star baskets. Yeah. I need to redo that. I will invite these guys to camp at least. Okay, I need to let me get a couple of 5 stars out of here because I can't chase after 10 5 stars. I'll lose out on like all of them. Okay, so if I sort by interest, let's do this the simple way. Who is the least interested in me? Jared Wells. That said, he's also the one I'm closest behind, but the interest is just so low. Does he care about money? I don't know that, do I? Oh wait, I do. He does. I mean, his interest is low with me, but his interest is low with like that's the thing. Okay, so of the 3 linebackers, I need to pick one to go after and abandon the other two. I think is how I should do that. Hutchins has the worst potential. Interest is staggeringly low. Let's get him off the list. Ricketts or DeHara? DeHara? About 10 to 12 minus the leaders in interest. 9 here. I mean, Ricketts can't cover to save his life, but his tackling and IQ are solid. He's going to have a good block shed. Stronger. Yeah, I think I will prioritize Ricketts. And I'll go after Wells also. Although, did I see multiple wide receivers? I did. Nah. Nah. 99, 98 interest in Bama and OSU. I'll let them go. All right, so Ricketts, Wells. Do I want to go after, of the 3 linemen, need to pick one. Jorge Frazier. I mean, his potential is a D minus. That just terrifies me. Jose Crowder is a JUCO, which actually let me fully scout them just so I know all their numbers while I go through this arithmetic. Do I still want Ricketts? Yes, I still want Ricketts. Bobby Logan. I mean, the C potential is what hurts. And since one is a recruit, one's a JUCO, no, I'll go after both of them. And then tight end. I mean, Edwin Kwan is objectively better. His higher overall, higher potential. Competing with Bama. Callaway is the highest interest in me. But the C minus potential. I'm gonna do something potentially silly. I'm gonna keep both of them on my list. I shouldn't do that. I need to make the call now. I'm gonna chase after Khan. And my argument being he's a better player And tight end isn't that much of a need where if I end up missing out on Khan and getting no one, it's not the end of the world. So these are my five stars I'm going after. Going after two O linemen, wide receiver, linebacker, tight end. I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. What I do want to find now, though, is look at, let's just say, 3-star tight ends and above. Yoink. To see if, do I know the potential of any of them? Oh, yeah, I'm going after the recruit tight end. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. All right, let's go back to points ahead, please. So I'm going after a pretty light recruiting class right now. It's only 18 strong. What's my percentage? Only 24% of my players are seniors. 42% are freshmen or redshirt freshmen. However, 51% of my starters are seniors. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I just got a really big freshman class. I think instead of going after like a mid low 20s overall class like I usually do, this is the year where I try to get talent, where I try to get really good talent in the building. I'll chase after the 5 stars. If I don't get them, so be it. But I think this is the year to do it. When I don't have a big senior class, I just got a really good freshman class in behind it. That's my logic. Is it good logic? I don't know. But it is mine. I shouldn't go after Callaway. He can't catch. He can't catch. He's so slow. He can't run a route. No, no. I will let Bama have him. Okay. That's my philosophical decision, if you must. Um, I mean, yeah, that's all the positions really that I talked about. I do have 2 running backs on my list after saying I don't really want to go after running backs. I should probably rectify that really fast. Hello, running backs. 78, 80, B minus. Oh, I mean, Carney is a hidden gem, but he's just worse. Like that's the issue here. I'll keep him in for now, just so I can see his like full ratings. But yeah, I think we're gonna go for a light class this year. We're just gonna go for it. Gregory, A potential. Would be kind of fun to go for a guy like that, but nah. For the heck of it, how's the QB class looking? It's pretty good. Looks pretty good. One thing I did want to check, I'm sure sort of scatterbrain this. Where did Antoine Hyde end up? San Jose State. Our backup safety has found his way there. Wide receivers, where did Caden Arnold end up? San Jose State also. Okay. And then where did Grayson Todd end up? San Jose. Y'all just taking my players? Where's Hyde in their depth chart? Third. Potentially even fourth. Oh wow, and Todd and Arnold are 1 and 2 in their depth chart. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, let me see if there's just any other high potential guys that I've not targeted. The kicker. I do not need the kicker. JUCO corner. How behind am I? Yes. Yeah, never mind. All right, let's advance. I like going after a smaller recruiting class. There's something freeing about it. Okay, let me just scout so that I can know. Or here, the guys that have not attended camp, I will just send to camp so that I can know their potentials. All right, I know both the running backs' full potential now, so let me take a look at those. 3 scouting points left, and these guys are all going to camp. Okay, I'll just give 1 each. Okay. What is it? D minus? I just saw Sean Hansen. Goodbye. That's everyone. Okay. Uh, we'll look at those running backs. Now that I know everything. Okay. So it looks like both of them will be pretty easy to get. I'm not being chased by either team. I think even though Carney is the hidden gem, Panky is just better. So that's the call I'm making. For the heck of it, I have 8. Um, I have 8 camp visits available. Get me 1-star quarterbacks, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I am going to send them to camp where we'll see if there's any 1-star A potential quarterbacks waiting in the wings. The answer is likely not, but you never know. All right. What's the interest in USC? Much higher than me. Okay. Fair enough. All right, OSU. I'm going to fight you for Jose Crowder and Ricketts. There's a new player in town. The issue that I'm gonna run into with going after all these 5-star guys is inevitably when I only get like 2 of them, it's gonna really hurt my recruiting class. But we'll see how it plays. You never know. Let's advance the week. All right. Let's see how the 1-stars did. Not good is my answer. And there is a B plus guy, but his rating's already terrible. I'm almost tempted to go after the hidden gem, but nah. Oh boy, what a world. Really? 99%? What could I possibly not know? Oh, the route running of the safety and the ball security of the O lineman. What is the route running of Ramon now? 38. Oh, that's kind of crazy. All right. Oh, I can schedule a visit already. Do I play Utah State at home? No, that's a shame. I mean, I'll get him in early just because. Is Stanford not ranked? Nice. I thought they would be. That's annoying. What's also annoying is I have 1 player on the second page right now. That's annoying. Is it worth it to go after here, Jeffries? Yeah, screw it. Why not? We're gonna get him anyway. Managing to get these 5 stars would be quite the feat. But I think I'm just in the camp that if there's any year to have a light recruiting class, it is this year. Because last year's recruiting class was the biggest I've ever had. It's solid. I have a lot of young guys playing. So this is the time to get that done. Ramon Knapp, I can already tell you, is probably going to move to corner. That's just where I'm at. I have 10 more camp invites. I have already hosted the 1-star QB tryouts. For the heck of it, let's just look at D lineman. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's get a little D-line tryouts going. Even though, D-line isn't really an issue or a position that I need to go for depth or recruiting, but might as well take a look. Preseason expectation. I bet the expectation is win 8 games or win the conference. 9 games or make the playoffs. My athletic director has become ambitious. Fair enough. I mean, we'll get 9 wins. Either way. All right, boosters, talk to me. Force 5 fumbles on you. What is your obsession? With 5 fumbles. Hold at least one opponent to 100 rushing yards or fewer, or hold opponents less than 155 rush yards per game. So last year, with a top 10 defense, we held them opposing rush yards per game 76. They would have to double that number for me to lose that one. So I will change that to that one. Hold opponents less than 41%. Oh, the third down conversion one is back. Oh boy. Have 23 takeaways? Are you out of your mind? Last year I had 15, bro. Okay, well, that one I'm not negotiating, so that's staying. Hold opponents less than 345 yards per game. I'll keep that. Have a D-line or an All-American. So the bronze guy has upgraded from All-Conference to All-American. Okay. And have a safety earn All-Conference. Safety. I'm just thinking which would be easier, safety or corner. I mean, safeties never get that many stats. Like McCoy got Mountain West last year, but Lanier got. I'll keep it safety and just pray it goes well. So I'm only using one of the negotiations, but I think I just kind of have to do it like that. I definitely want to keep D line instead of linebacker because that's the easiest path to All American is if a D lineman goes crazy and gets a lot of sacks and tackles for loss. That's a lot of money in the old booster goals here. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's that. Win at least 9 games. I think we'll get. It will require us to go undefeated in the Mountain West if we lose all 3 out of conference games. But I think we do that either way. Yeah, that's where we're at. Let's advance the week. And before I end here, let's take a look at my defensive end tryouts. Looks like one good in the slightest. I'll fully scout the guys with B minus potential just so I can see if there's anyone there worth getting. Schedule a visit. Well, I got bad news, buddy. Okay. Oh boy. Strength 71, 66, 69. Oh boy. I mean, Hampton 74 strength as a recruit ain't bad. It's definitely not Coleman. So I guess sure. Congrats, Hampton. You survived the sweepstakes. I play Nevada and San Jose State. Let's do San Jose State in week 7. Let me schedule the rest of the visits. So with the 5 stars, I think, well, you're going to Penn State just because Penn State's interested in you. Wells, I want as later as possible. Let's do. Actually, let's stack the Penn State game a little bit with Wells, and then that was it for the scheduling. Man. All right. Let me offer everyone that's on this list. And you know what? I think we'll play our opening game here against Stanford. See how we do. See how we do. Chasing after Adam Hensley does seem a bit silly, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah, and I think the downside of my schedule being so home heavy is it's so home heavy early. And so I won't be able to get a lot of these guys in the building. Like, I only got one player at Stanford. Right now, I got nothing in New Mexico, nothing at Hawaii. So hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me. But let's play our opening game against Stanford here. We are ranked 10th in the nation to open. We are top 10. We have the 45th best offense in terms of talent. Oh no! But hey, we have the 14th best defense, and defense wins championships, is what I hear. So we're going up against Stanford. Um, their QB is Ethan Bright, who was a 2-time transfer. He was at Nevada, then he was at UCLA. Now he's hit 6 million. 6 million US Stanford. That's not Venezuelan Bolivar. That's a lot. This guy has gotten paid. Let's see, he returned half of it. So he made 2 million. Let's call that, 3.76. He has made almost $10 million, and he's only played 4 games. What a time NIL is. I mean, our focus, I think, has to be working on our passing game and stopping their passing game until proven otherwise, just because of the fact that we have a redshirt freshman at QB. But let's play this game. We're favored by 3.5 points. I have one recruit, Gary Guerrera, visiting. Looks like Kansas State also scheduled a later visit in week 9. So far in the sim, we beat Stanford when we played 2 years ago. This was my first ever game at Fresno State, and we won 24-16. Our defense, I thought, played very, very well. Pretty much put a period on that. The run game was kind of there. So here we go. Let's play. Let's rock and roll. Flip coin. Stanford calls tails. Dang, that is usually the correct call. Yep, they win the toss. They elect to receive, so the end result is the same. If you are new here, welcome. On the first defensive play of every game, we send a Thundersmoke Blitz. And this time it works. Eddie Morrison, the new transfer with the tackle for loss. I did forget to look. Can this $6 million man run? No. It doesn't look like that answer is in the affirmative. Why did I click zone? Because I'm a genius. 3rd and 11. I am not doing a Thunder Smoke Blitz, though that would be bold. Gage Diallo with the deflection, they punt. Okay, good start. Bad news, we're at the 3, which I admit seems precarious. We're back to the Keaton Peters 1-yard show, everyone. Damian Fisher's first pass is an incompletion, and now Stanford has the ball with pretty good field position, but they don't get a single yard and they punt. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Looking okay now. 9-yard completion for Damian Fisher's first ever completion. That'll do. 3rd and 1. Power-O, send it. So, just in case anyone was paying attention, Axel Hale's first 3 rushes. 7, 2, -2. I should have just done an ISO run up the middle. That was a bad call by me. 3rd and 8. We are crushing their run game right now. And Jared Pittman, the converted linebacker, with the first sack of the season. Their run game, by the way, 4 carries, -1 yard. I think that's bad. I may have heard, oh, Peters went backwards. Well, this is turning into a defensive showcase here. That's also bad for us because we don't get a lot of opportunity to kill the clock. When we're getting 3 and outs, Bryson Koch with the pick, and it's returned to 61 yards to Stanford's red zone. Thank you. Thank you, sir. May I waltz down the field and just shake your hand, Bryson, who was second team all-freshman, by the way, as a redshirt freshman, it must be said. Keaton Peters, 1 yard again. All right, we take the field goal. We draw first blood. However, it has not been the most inspiring offensive performance. Who got the sack there? Jared Pittman again. All-American. Does he want it? No, they convert on 3rd and 8. They don't get it on 3rd and 2. And they miss the 52-yarder. I mean, credit for them for attempting a 52-yarder. I don't see a lot of the AI doesn't go for long field goals like that often. Big conversion on 3rd and 7. That'll play. Curls works. We're in business. We're out of business. Ian Fox dropped the first down pass. Oh, and Matthews missed. I believe it took. Let me look really quick. Let me look at something here. Matthews, game log. It took until week 11 last year for him to miss his first field goal. He has missed his first field goal in the opening game. Oy. Safety blitz there was inspired. I still maintain it could have worked. And they punt. Our defense deserves like all the flowers from our offense right now. Stanford's using their timeouts. I guess that's my cue to try to go down the field, but man alive. I'm going to run it. Oh, we got the first down. Holy, okay. We're in business now. 3rd and 1, I'm going to run it. Good call. Play action boot. That had the opposite effect. First down. Thank you, Harrison. We're at the 5. Oh, Fisher got sacked. I'm going to try one more deep ball just to see if he can get in the back of the end zone. No dice. He threw it 1 yard. All right. Well, good news is we're up 6-0, and our defense deserves a medal. Bad news is our offense is playing essentially the same way their offense is. It's just we've gotten a interception return to the red zone. We do start with the ball, and I think we really need to score to open. Hale gets 0 yards. The jet sweep. Oh, the jet sweep got positive yardage. I'm sorry, Stanford. We have the mandate. Peters with those 0-yard rushes, man, I tell you. There we go. 1st and goal at the 5. I misclicked there. Let's try the stick play. And it works. Raymond Norman with our first touchdown of the season. I am going to go for 2 here. We do not get it. So it's a 12-point lead. At that point, 13-point lead versus 12 doesn't really matter. That was a bad call by me to blitz there. Oy, okay. They've found their run game, it looks like. After it took an entire half off, they've found their run game. They ran it on 3rd and 8. Okay. I mean, they get a field goal, so they're down by 9, which means they'll still need a touchdown and a field goal to tie it, or to take the lead, I should say. However, we're driving. We're moving. The slants. Jerome Lockhart with 4 yards. The play action boot works. I am not going to do a QB sneak from the 1-yard line. The one time I did that, I fumbled. 15-point game. Let's make it a 16-point game. That way they'd need not only 2 touchdowns, but also 2 2-point conversions. And I would rather take that guarantee over them needing to score like 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Then they converted the 3rd and 8. Will they convert the 3rd and 10? Yes, they will. However, Shane Murphy forces and recovers the fumble. We take over at the 14. Our defense not only nearly pitching a shutout, but also getting the turnovers when we need it the most. And Damian Fisher got sacked. So there went that. And we punt. Oh boy. Oh, they converted on 3rd down. Oh no. This time around it's Dylan Pugh, who, if you scroll down the linebacker depth chart, he is 6th, forcing and recovering the fumble. And now the backups are in. Guess they have been in for a hot second. Oscar Hoskins, pass deflected. We punt. 2nd and 1. Safety blitz. It's another fumble. Last season, I needed 6 forced fumbles. I only got like 4 or 5 the whole way through. And this time around, I got 3 in one game. Oh, boy. Gail McGowan forces the fumble. Cody Sylvester recovers. And we are just going to run the clock out here. Or at least attempt to. Cool. Let's just keep running the ball, fellas. All right, he went backwards. So we open with a ranked victory against Stanford, 19-3. Our offense was shaky. I think there's no way around that. Our running game was bad by our standards, but in a vacuum was fine. Fisher, I think, played okay, 177 yards, 1 touchdown. Ain't terrible. But, I mean, defensively, we crushed their run game. They had a little bit of success in the air, but no points to show for it. Norman and Fox both did well. Good for them. I tried to get Hale involved in the passing game, and it was 2 catches for 0 yards. So, 2 sacks from Pittman. We forced 3 fumbles, all by guys lower in on the depth chart, which is cool. And Matthews, of course, missed a field goal. But I mean, that's our defense looks like it hadn't missed a step from last year when it lost its top 5 corners, 2 out of 3 top D linemen. It's fine. Now, I know on my screen it says that Pittman, Greer, and Boyle all got injured, but if I just ignore that, right, it just goes away. Also, we moved down 3 in the rankings. Why? I'm sorry. Kentucky beat Rutgers 48-0 in a blowout. They go from 9 to 10. I beat ranked whatever. Ever. The stupidity of the AP voters cannot be underestimated. All right, what were those injuries? So Pittman is out, but it's only 1 week, so I'm just going to drop him all the way down to the bottom. just so he doesn't risk re-injury. Guerrero, I saw get injured, but as I discussed last year, his ratings are such that I can't really afford to drop him. And then Boyle, 5 weeks is rough. Yeah, I mean, he's below the other Boyle now. Mm, maybe ahead of Norton too. I'll keep him at fifth. We'll see how that plays. But I mean, hey, we open with a win against ranked Stanford. That's pretty good, if I do say so myself. Brandon Reyes, by the way, for those tracking snaps, he played in 41% of snaps. So it looks like him at 3 is going to be the move, though Cody played more. I assume that's because when the starters and backups flipped, Cody still played for a couple more snaps. Or he played one more, never mind. All right, I mean, that's about as well as you can hope for to start. Win against a ranked opponent, defensive shutout. The official visit, Gary, we got 1,000 points. That's awesome. We got 1,000 points on Gary in a race. Okay. Thank you for playing Kansas State. We'll take the 3-star A potential wide receiver now. Thank you. Thank you for coming out. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, but a good way to start the season. Transfer portal didn't exactly go our way. We missed out on some of the depth linebackers and 2 of the 3 D linemen we were going after. But I think moving Pittman to D line helped. Getting Morrison, our D line room is still okay. Linebacker is the one I'm fairly concerned about if Koch, Greer, and Richard ever have an injury, which, seeing as Greer is already injured, it's fine. So thank you all for watching. I will have probably one more stream later this week to get through the majority of this season, probably up to the Liberty game or so, I would wager. But we have an exciting season here. We got a lot of young players on this team. We have a showdown, another showdown against Penn State coming up. That should be good. So thank you all for watching, whether live or on the VOD, which can be found on Twitch and YouTube. That is it for me. I will see you all next time.